Yeah. Alright. Hi everyone, this is Antonica. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing a couple things at one time. But what we're going to be looking at is this. The Leatherfoot Raider quest. So for the Leatherfoot Raider skull cap, which I actually have in my inventory. This is it. It's kind of a oh poop moment where you need to pour it out. You can just anybody can actually click it, so you just click it down in your inventory, right click, and good to go. I think normally they sell for about 400 plat right now in the EC tunnel, and that's of January 2019. However, they're actually quite reasonable to do, and it's a pretty scenic journey. So in this portion, I'm gonna be doing pretty much everything up to the turn in. I can't actually turn in the last piece though, because it's a lore item, but this is the Dragoon Dirk that you need. In previous videos showed where you can get this. You can get this either in Crushbone off of this ambassador, or you can get it off of I actually showed this guy in a previous video. Oh, there's a decent number of people that can drop them. But I showed this guy though, Dorn B. Din, in the Fire Pots video. And he's a level 14 to 16, 6 minute and 40 seconds spawn. So yeah, he's the one that I did actually from this cap that I got myself. So I ran to the fire pots, and we're first going to get the shark skin. So some of the main locations you can get these are actually in Eridan. Some of the best ones are in Eridan, so I'll be clicking there first. So look at the fire pot map. So Eridan is in the northeast portion. So well, anyways, I know it's this one. You can see that, and then that's the Dark Elf one. It's pretty obvious. You're at Commons. Yeah, it's Dark Elf. So it's the Eridan. So I'm intending to make this video a two-parter, because the first portion I'd actually like to talk about the state of the P99 server. Oh, there we go. Plenty of sharks is up as it is. But let me get this going first prior to me actually killing. You know, it might also help if I use the water elemental potion. 1 second. Where are you? So there's my water breathing. Let's see if we can get one of these shark skins real quick. And as I'm waiting for the boat ride, I can explain the portion I was intending to. So, the first portion, yeah, you get these shark skins. They drop off a couple different areas, from my understanding. Let me see, am I hated by these guys? Oh yeah, they do not like water elementals. Okay, we'll keep that in mind. That's weird. Just some weird water textures in the ground here. The water kind of strange. What's this? Pearl of Otis. What in the world is that? Peacekeeper staff. Oh, that doesn't. It's a 2-slot container. I don't know. That does not look like a very good item, so I'm not gonna be doing that. But let's keep killing these sharks. So it seems like these drops. There we go. That's what I needed. Let me just make sure, verify. Yeah, just a shark skin. Okay. Clicked off my illusion because I am kill on sites here in Eridan. You know, one day I want to do a video where I go check out Care Isle. But, alright, here I am. Alright, so the state of the P99 server. So I think the first thing I'll do is let's talk about the population level. That's what really matters. So let me look. Right now is actually off peak, so it won't really be accurate. Yeah, because it's about like 7, almost 7, 8 a.m. in Eastern time. Pretty early in the morning on a Monday too. So this isn't really indicative, but anyways, the populations I've normally seen, I think, prior to the Christmas in 2018, I think I saw populations around 1,200. During Christmas, there was a huge EXP boost benefit, and I think that caused a lot of people to come in. I think I saw the population going up to about 2,000. Yeah, I think it actually did hit 2,000. And then as of the tail off, as we come into the new year, in January 2019, the population I think has been pretty consistently around 1,500 to 1,600. A bit lower, possibly, but I think that's probably competing with live. Actually, the population's quite incredible. So, can you find groups? Yes, you can. There's plenty of groups in the upper level regions, but let's talk about the lower level regions. So, what if you're trying to level up a character from scratch? So, this was a big problem on live. Whole reason why they put the mercenary feature in, because this is a game intended to be made for people to group in, and it really doesn't, it's not fun to play when you're doing it alone. So can you find groups? Definitely. You definitely can all throughout the level, leveling path. I think they have leveling guides listed here on the forums. Leveling guide. You can kind of go through it. It's typically, yeah, for your first couple levels, you're going to want to kill in your starter zone. And then I see a lot of people, what they do, once they get a little bit higher, on the 5 range, I think most of the traffic I see is typically in the Fade War side of the world, so in Greater Fade Arc and in Crushbone for this period. So if you definitely want to find groups, no miss. Crushbone's a very good bet. Kanos, that side of the world, the Western Antonica. Let me see who's in the zone right now. Yeah, I'm by myself. Well, Kanos. Oh, there's actually 4 people in Kanos. Couple people, Kanos Hills, who all Black Burrow. 2 people in Black Burrow. Well, 3, but 2 people probably actually grouping Black Burrow, and it's like pretty off peak hours. The Kanos side, the people I see there, it's a bit more hit or miss for grouping, but the people that start over in that side of the world tend to be much more novices. The people that start out in Greater Fade Arc, they seem to have a greater grasp of the game, or more knowledge of it prior. Whereas the people that start out in Kanos seem to be just starting out from the beginning. So yeah, that's a good path right here. Once you get a bit higher level, you know, a big thing people do once they hit their teens, solidly in their teams, a lot of people do Oasis and they kill the crocodiles, which you never will really miss on that either. There's always people doing that. Just want to make sure I don't miss the transport. So yeah, there's always people typically killing an Oasis during the teens. Also, there's pretty good soloing areas still. A lot of people, they'll farm the Will-O-Wisps for a specific quest in the Karanas. That gets you like 10 plat per turn in if you get a Greater Lightstone. That's good. As you get higher level, let's see. High pass, I think, I don't know. I've seen groups there plenty. I think it's okay. I don't think it's as populated as prior, but I think it's pretty decent for that. Continuing on down. Oh, you know what? Yeah, definitely. The Fade War side of the world is packed. So Mistmore, I think there's always groups, as well as with Unrest. There's always groups. You're not going to struggle over there. And really, that's a lot of the difficult parts. I've typically also see groups a lot over there. Essentially, if you're trying to level up on the server, by grouping and stuff, you're probably not going to have any issues at all. It's the population's nice and healthy, and it's balanced as well between the different leveling, between the different level arcs, I guess. 10s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. So it's all pretty well balanced. As well as people are very friendly on the server. I remember when I first came on, a lot of people gave me some pretty nice gear, help me get started out. Or they'll run by, see that you're struggling, they'll give you some buffs. They'll tip you some platinum. People are very friendly on the server. And I think partially too is that you want people to stay. The more people on here, the more fun it is, I guess. This is a social game. It's not one that you just play by yourself. In terms of the raiding scene, what I can say from what I've seen, I didn't really start raiding till 2018, and from my impression prior to that, a lot of the raid mobs were pretty much just exclusively for the top raiding guilds. They're almost permanently taken out. But in my past experience with Kittens Who Saved Me Out, most raid targets seem quite feasible actually to do, even if you're not one of the top tier guilds in the server, which I think is right now Aftermath and Tempest, if I'm correct. Those are the two main ones that compete for the top tier stuff. Then you have a bunch of guilds that are kind of middle tier for raiding, like Kittens Who Saved Me Out, I think Bloodguard, Paradigm Shift, Azure Guard. There's a bunch of different guilds. I'm probably wrong with some of them, but I remember about kind of earlier this January, on one day, on a 7-day repop, let's see, Kittens, we killed Talendor, we killed Velcator, we killed Inaruk. We had some help with that from the Second Son. Yes, the Second Sons. And then we also killed one other one. I'm trying to remember. Oh, Vindy. Yeah, we killed Vindy and Kale. So the raiding scene is quite feasible to get into. Most guilds have a like 46. At least when Kittens first started. When I first joined Kittens, it was about a 46 plus for some of the raids, and then other raids are 55 plus. And some even have more requirements on that, such as having your resists up to 120. Oh, waiting for this boat takes forever. But regardless, raiding is quite feasible. How feasible it is to do your epics, I can say that I see monk epics being done almost every single week in Kittens. I see cleric epics being done. There's a lot of help when you're in these major guilds. They'll help you get through these parts. I think really just the epics I see struggling with are the ones that have a lot of competition. So right now myself, I'm stuck on the white scale, and when your competition is Gore and Vox, when you got those two mobs and everybody on the server wants it, it's a bit ridiculous. It can be difficult when you have a bunch of guilds raiding, trying to compete for these. But for most other epics that aren't as ridiculous, I feel so sorry for this one guy, Shadow's Main. Shadow's Main is this magician, and from what I understand, the magician epic's the hardest in the game. This guy's been killing Finnegal autotrops for months and still has not gotten the drop he's needed for the magician epic. I feel so sorry for him. I think I've seen also Rogue Epic sell for 30k, the MQ on that. So epics are pretty feasible. I see most rangers I see, they at least have one of their epics. Most druids I see, they have an epic. A lot of monks I see have their epic. Warriors are kind of unrealistic. Most warriors I see don't. Most bards I see don't. Most rogues have the epic too. I think the rogue epic is like considered to be the easiest to do in the game. Most clerics, they get help from the guild, so it's not that crazy. So epics are rather feasible to do on this guild in the server, as long as they're not out of this world per se. Oh, I also want to mention one thing about the raiding scene. Let me see how long this is going right now. One thing about the raiding scene is how does it work with the respawns? So mobs seem to respawn at like either a 3-day or 7-day window, and they have this time period of a couple different hours when they can repop. So you can't just entirely sit there on the spawn and know exactly the second it's going to come back, whatever raid target you're looking at. You have to actively track it and watch it, which allows opportunities for some other guilds to pick up and win. And as well, they put in this feature called Earthquakes. So what this is, I think they do up to 2 or 3 a max a month. It can be anywhere from 0 to 3. I think they automated it. But what Earthquakes are is the screen will shake and every single mob will essentially respawn. So all the raid targets will pop back up again, and it'll completely set up. You have to reset your 7-day cycles for most of the spawns, because they'll be killed then. So it's just a mad rush. You see most of the raiding guilds just in a complete mad rush when these earthquakes happen. It gets real insane, but at least it gives opportunities. So if you're not one of the top tier raiding guilds, if you think like say in the past where mobs were exclusively held down by them, no, there's actually opportunities. You can get other raid mobs, and it's not too crazy. It's actually doable. So the raid scene is quite feasible on the server. We'll say that. In terms of some other things, let's see. EC Tunnel going healthy and strong. There are some people who are resellers. They're like these EC fat cats that do. Well, there's one that comes around every once in a while that do reselling and then try to sell it a bit higher and stuff. But regardless, I gotta say my time on the server has been quite fun. I've really enjoyed it, and I wouldn't turn anybody down from coming out and checking what it's like. There's a lot of help, a lot of support when you first come on, and groups heavily available. I think, though, if you are going to group, try to stay more towards the Favored side or Freeport, because that seems to be where most of the traffic is. I think there were some other things I wanted to mention. I'm trying to remember them, per se. One of the things is how... Oh, it's about to leave. Fine. finally, it's about time. The server has like an agreement. No, the server does have an agreement with Daybreak to the point where they won't get shut down. So you don't have to worry about all the work you're putting here, just getting completely wiped because of some lawsuit. You don't have to worry about that. I think that's mostly... Oh, no, I know what I want to talk about. Okay, so the last thing I'll mention in the state of the server video is the impending Chardock 2.0 patch. So, I think we've been running, the latest patch has been version 45. Let me see. Getting started. We have been using, yeah, V45. So I don't think there has been a patch in about a year. Because, I'm not sure, but the devs have been taking a while. Rogan and Nilbach, whoever they might be. Love playing the game, though. No disrespect. The latest patch that's supposed to be coming up, Chardock 2.0, it's kind of a revamp of Chardock as well as some other things having to deal with classes. So from my understanding, one of the aspects that's going to be changed is the melee damage tables. I think monks, and that's weird, I can't run to the side of the boat. Monks, the hybrid classes, so like rangers, pallies, SKs, and warriors. I think that all their damage tables are going to be retooled, like double attack, the amount of damage they do. The two-handed weapon damage is also supposed to be fixed. From my understanding, the Bard Epic, right now as it currently stands in the server, if you want the effects from the Bard Epic, the instrument mod, it must be equipped in the primary slot. If you put it in the secondary, it won't work at all. So, like if you're trying to have extra mana from the mana pulse, it won't work if it's in the secondary slot. So I think that's one thing that's going to be altered. Killer Shark, how in the world are you? I'm 58, this guy's a light green. Great. Hamster moment. What level are you? Level 40? It's a level 40 mob you have to kill for a level 13 quest. That's such a quest for you. Okay, anyways. I guess Andis. Why is this making me think of Beyonce right now? Finally got a ring. So Chardock 2.0, my understanding, is going to fix or alter some of the melee mechanics. I think some spells might get modified as well. One of the other things is, as is implied, so Chardock is being modified significantly. So right now, as it stands, Chardock is mostly just a dead zone. No one ever really goes into it unless they're doing like the portions of epics, like Monk Epic or the Cleric Epic. I've definitely had some guild pickup groups there. It's not that ridiculous. People do group there, but ever since, from my understanding, I've never seen it, but there was a time on the server where point blank AoE dots that like say what bards have, if they had an infinite number of mobs they would land on. So like I remember I used to pull in Burning Woods. I used to charm Swarm Kite in Burning Woods, and I pulled 60 plus mob swarms. Now, as it currently stands, your PB AoEs only hit 25 mobs maximum at a time. So what people used to do in Chardog prior to this 25 mob max AoE, they used to pull the entire zone and basically beat it down, and it was for a power leveling session, so people would power level in Chardog. I never saw the island. That's sad. I thought I was going to see Kara Island. No. So people used to power level there in Chardog, and I think it just became an issue. So the devs changed the code because of it. So that 25 mob 25 mob max AoE dot patch went into effect, and Chardog became basically a dead zone. So supposedly this patch is going to make the zone quite feasible again. Make people going to want to actually use it again, because it's going to have some really nice gear quests. I think there's this ring quest in Chardog that's going to be quite a nice piece, as well as it might have the desiccated halfling mask. So if you want halfling illusion as a bard or rogue, I think some other things are going on there, but yeah, so that's the impending patch that should be any time. I'm not sure when, but here we're in Kanos. But essentially that's the patch status as we're currently on. So we don't have that yet. We don't have the Chardog 2.0 patch yet, but it should be any time, even though it's been about a year though. So I am going to end this video here. So this will be part 1 of the Leatherfoot Raider Skull Cap quest, as well as a state of the server. And next video I'll pick up on the second part. It'll be kind of a trek across Antonica as I pick up the pieces for the skull cap. I thank you guys all for watching, and this is Antonica. I'll see you guys later.